It's been a wild couple of races here in the BodyArmor Pro Series in this in-season tournament. Tonight, it's the semifinal round, the final four if you have it. And it's going to be a lot of fun seeing who advances on to the finals at Indianapolis a week from tonight. We got ourselves Blaine Keys versus Audra Baranowskis and Logan Williams versus Lauren Martinez. And the winners of those matchups will face off at Indianapolis, and the highest finisher in the Indy 100K next week gets the in-season tournament championship. But tonight, we're at Hillside International Speedway, one of the wildest fictional tracks that we go to, home of the most memorable finish on the channel. Tonight, it's the Massachusetts 100K, here for the ninth race, of the season, here in the 2025 BodyArmor Pro Series. Hello, everybody. This is AG here, and welcome to the Hillside International Speedway on a Monday night. Once again, we are here for the semifinal round of the in-season tournament. This is the Massachusetts 100K, and the second time the Pro Series has come here to Hillside, but home of, like I said, the most memorable finish that we have ever had here on the channel. And Shane Lake got that race victory in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series back in 2020. And hey, Wawa Cup Series is going to be coming here in July for the Winner's Showdown. But we are here tonight for the semifinal round of the in-season tournament for the BodyArmor Pro Series. Like I said, Blaine Keys versus Audra Baranowskis. Logan Williams versus Lauren Martinez, a couple of challengers and a couple of championship contenders here in the BodyArmor Pro Series facing off against each other. We could see the top two guys at points face off for the championship next week at Indy, Logan Williams and Blaine Keys, or we can see an Indy 250 champion, Audra Baranowskis, face off against Lauren Martinez. And those two ladies have not necessarily been the best drivers of the season, but they have found themselves in this position thanks to some wrecks last week at Oregon. Baranowskis actually has a pretty good advantage in the starting grid compared to Blaine, so we'll see how that ends up shaking out. But joined alongside Eddie Debs for the call of this one. And Eddie, you're a big fan of this series, and I know that you've been following this, and it has been a lot of fun in this in-season tournament. But one thing that is a big variable, and we saw it come into play last week at Oregon, are wrecks. And do you think we're going to see some of that here tonight, or will we run these 63 laps here tonight completely green and see the best drivers duke it out for the win in this Massachusetts 100K?
Well, I don't want to say it, but with Blaine Keys starting deep in the field, I think there are a few people. I can say Audra, but I could also say a bunch of other names that you can probably get into later. I think a couple people are going to be hoping for a wreck here at Hillside, because there's a higher chance that Blaine gets caught up in the confusion and he goes out, which will benefit really everyone except for the people who, DNF with him. But again, it really just comes down to what these drivers want out of this race. I'm sure some people want points. Some people want to move up the position, the running order to get into points. Some want to just hold where they are just to get a good points haul. And I think the only thing people are unified about is beating Blaine. So I don't know. There could be some aggression. I would say, I'm a person who loves seeing wrecks. I think they are a fun, they're really interesting. They can change things in all sorts of ways in this sport. But I would incline to say yes, but I also think that this might be a field that can figure out how to run these laps cleanly, and also get, the cars that deserve to be at the front go to the front, and we maybe don't have too much trouble.
We'll have to see how it ends up shaking out. I do know when they wreck here, it is pretty big, and we'll have to see if we do end up with anything of the sort in this race. We had it last year when we ran this race in the BodyArmor Pro Series. We'll see if that happens again. We had two wrecks last week at Oregon, and definitely changed the course of that in-season tournament. You see the bracket right now. Of course, Blaine Keys advanced on. He was battling right there with Ace Garcia, and they were actually two guys who were not caught up in the wreck, and Ace Garcia actually had Blaine a majority of the time in that race, but Blaine just had the speed at the end there. The upset there with Audra Baranowskis over Nathan Stapleton, but Stapleton kind of got caught up in the wreck, and he fell off the pace right there in that one. Of course, you look down there, Andrew Miller and Logan Williams, they actually both got caught up simultaneously, but Logan was able to keep on going, and Andrew Miller actually got knocked out of the race after he went flipping in that wreck. And then Lauren Martinez with the upset on Nicholas Samedeo. Samedeo got caught up in the wreck there with Matthew Hubert, and just didn't have the speed later on to be able to get to that 41 machine. So Audrey Baranowskis, Laura Martinez, they are definitely the upset picks here in this in-season tournament, and two drivers we didn't really expect to be at this point against Logan Williams and Blaine Keys, who are top 2 in points. You see it right there. 19-point lead for Blaine Keys, but if Williams wins this race and Blaine does not point, Logan's going to be the points leader going into Indy next week. Then it's 54 points behind. 2 race wins worth of points down to Matt Tuck there. Leonard Kochwar has been very consistent this season. That is something that cannot be said about his Wawa Cup Series run, but he's been actually very good over here in the Pro Series, 58 behind. Rogel Dorn won last week at Oregon. The only 2 times he's pointed have been race victories, Willow Springs and Oregon, and he's got 62 points behind on Blaine Keys, and Stuart Gratton 64 points behind right there. Lauren Martinez is actually 7th in the points, tied with Andrew Miller there, 7th in the standings, both 79 points behind. But Blaine Keys has dominated in this BodyArmor Pro Series, and he actually had a great run at Oregon last week to move himself in a great position to extend that points lead. 5 top 5, 6 top 5s on the season. All 6 of the times he's pointed, he's been top 5, and he's gotten a lot of points because of that. But we'll have to see what he can do starting 20th. It's Logan Williams starting on the pole in the number 83 alongside Rogel Dorn in the 4. Rogel Dorn looking to go back-to-back, looking to get his 3rd win of the season here in the Pro Series. You got Isaac Nichols and Carson Miller there in row 2. Andrew Miller and Ludovic Charette in row 3. There's Audrey Baranowskis looking to beat Blaine Keys in this race and move on to the finals for this in-season tournament at Indy alongside Matt Tuck. You got Ace Garcia and Sergio Alonso there rounding up the top 10 starting positions. Lauren Martinez has to defeat Logan Williams. She starts all the way back in 22nd for this race, excuse me. No, 21st. I think I know what I'm doing by now. 21st in the number 41, and Blaine Key starts 20th in the 14. Going to be fascinating to see what they can do if they can work their way through the field. This is not a place that is necessarily known to see guys work their way from the back to the front. You want to start up front here at Hillside, and Logan Williams has the pole in that 83 machine, which I think is going to help him out a lot in advancing on to the finals next week at Indy. But we'll have to see how it all goes down. It's 63 laps here at Hillside International Speedway in Natick, Massachusetts. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here for the Massachusetts 100K. And Eddie, real quick, who do you think is going to get this race victory here tonight at the Hillside International Speedway?
Well, something I had forgotten to do from the last time I called the race was remind myself that Andrew Miller has won a race recently. He broke what was close to a 500-day winless streak by winning the Wawa Cup Series, and hey, he's in a Durrani car. So maybe being in the front means having the inside being able to see that there are probably a couple guys in front of him who are just happy to be here. Maybe he'll fight his way to the front and win. I don't want to take the easy pick of Logan Williams because I also don't want to get yelled at by Logan if he's right.
Well, we'll see what Miller can do in this one here from Hillside as we cross the line to start this one here in the Massachusetts 100K. 63 laps of action here, and Logan Williams with a great start to this race. You got Isaac Nichols there on the inside, Andrew Miller as well. Audrey Baranowskis trying to beat Blaine Keys on this one. And inside's where you want to be initially, but the outside can get some grip as this race goes along. You can get some great side-by-side racing in this event. Williams going to lead lap number 1 here at Hillside. Of course, no bonus points for leading laps in this series. You got Nichols to the inside there, Rogel Dorn, Andrew Miller, Audrey Baranowskis in the 1 machine, Ace Garcia on the inside lane as well. And Blaine Keys in the 14 has not been able to get to that inside lane quite yet. He is deep in the field right now here on lap number 2.
I mean, at this point for Blaine, he's just got to have to wait for cycling out to occur. Wow, Nichols got to the bottom of Williams and is going to go for the lead.
We got some 3Y back in here.
Outside,
that was tight. 3Y. Andrew Miller, Ludovic Charette, and Carson Miller there. And that 00 almost got into him. And here we go. Logan Williams getting that run on the outside lane there on Isaac Nichols. Hey, had Isaac in the booth for the Memphis race in the Light Series. Great to have him in the booth for that one. And you know what? He's last in the points here in the Pro Series right now. Only 2 total points. Looking to get 25 added onto that here tonight. He's got an opportunity of doing so. And Logan Williams, at least in terms of the in-season tournament, has a very big buffer between himself and Lauren Martinez at this moment. As a matter of fact, Baranowskis has a big buffer on Blaine Keys. It's looking at the way we are currently going that it's going to be Baranowskis versus Williams in the in-season finale. We've got Nathan Stapleton 3Y with Alonso and Matt Tuck. Bunch of GRT cars right in the middle there, but Stapleton backing it out there and Alonso getting the advantage through the inside in that corner. But Isaac Nichols out front in the 88. Logan Williams, Rogel Dorn, Ludovic Charette. Here comes Ace Garcia looking for the 5th position on Carson Miller.
You know, you gotta think. I saw Ludovic let him try to move down. He was definitely the driver trying to break out of the outside lane, go into the inside. Now she's up to 4th. Someone who's turned on the jet here in the Pro Series recently. Wawa Cup Series, definitely dominating there, as I think we would expect, doing very well for herself. But in this series, again, just barely missed out on making the in-season tournament. The was looking low on Williams. He really, won it up. He got a great finish last race at Oregon. So maybe this is the point where she's going to start trying to turn on the jet. Blanky's out of it right now. That's the best chance as any to get a bunch of points towards him. Where is he right now? He finally made it to the bottom, but he's too wide rift. Well,
yeah, not a good spot for Blaine right now. He is not moved up at all, and like I said, it's hard to work your way from the back to the front here at Hillside. And Blaine's not in a good position in terms of defeating that one machine of Audra Baranowskis. And Audra's doing a great job keeping this thing top 10, trying to get some points as well. Keep in mind, there's still a championship going on right here. These guys trying to get points towards the overall title, which will end in December, and Logan Williams would love to get that points lead if he can get around Isaac Nichols right here and win this race. Ludovic got around Rogel Dorn, and to your point there, Eddie, Ludovic has definitely turned on the jets a little bit here in the Pro Series the past couple of races. She missed that in-season tournament just by a nose on Thomas Troxel, and had a good run in Armory Digital, had an even better run at Oregon, and she's running top 3 right now. Still has yet to get a win in either series this year. As a matter of fact, has she even won a race on the channel yet this year? I don't think she has.
I don't think she has.
That's kind of interesting to think about. Our defending Wawa Cup Series champion is yet to go to victory lane, and we're pretty much the middle of May at this point. That's not necessarily what she expected at this point. But Rogel Dorn looking for his 3rd win of the season here, and of course Blaine Keys won the first 3 races of the year. But the Armory Digital winner is having a good night as well. Carson Miller in the 21 looking for 4th there on the 4 of Rogel Dorn.
I mean, to go back to Ludovic, I'm gonna first win to get my way back to Ludovic. Her not winning, I think, really just comes down to Wawa Cup Series being a lot more competitive this year, and in this year's, it's been almost all Blaine Keys, other than a couple random races. So I don't really blame her for not having a win so far this year, but being 2nd in points in the Wawa Cup Series, at least she's proven she's consistent. I think in the end, she can maybe save her wins for later. See if she doesn't. Yeah, no. Carson Miller, another guy turning it up, got the win at Armory Digital, albeit Armory Digital is Armory Digital. Ooh. As soon as I say that, he goes low on Rogel Dorn and might actually lose this spot to Ace Garcia. And Ace Garcia, I talked about Andrew Miller's winless streak. Ace Garcia's over 1,000 days without a win. Man, too many things are going on. I can't pay attention.
They get around here quick. They get around here quick.
Absolutely.
It's under 20 seconds each lap here, and this is a mile-long racetrack here at the Hillside International Speedway. Ludovic's got a helper there in Rogel Dorn. Those two were dominant at Oregon last week, and this is kind of like Oregon, just a half mile shorter in a way. And I think a lot of the guys who we saw run well last week, Ace Garcia was up front in that race a lot last week, and Logan's slipping back here in this 83 machine. Ludovic got that push from Rogel and pulled right away. I'm now trying to get to Isaac Nichols. But how about this? This is the guy who's last in points, who's leading this race right now. And Isaac's a great driver. Already won in the Wawa Cup Series this year at Atlanta. He's still top 10 in points over there in the Cup Series. But he's got 2 total points. At least he has points, but he's last in points coming into this race right now. And he would love to move himself further up in the standings. And, hey, we're still very early on in this championship. After tonight, still 16 races left to go, and you rack up a couple of wins, you're going to get a ton of points. I mean, Rogel Dorn's only pointed in 2 races, but both of those were race victories. He is 5th in the standings coming into this one here tonight. But looking to add on to that and get some points here. How about Nicholas Samadeo in this 48 machine? Where did he come from? He's going really quick in that 48 now, up to the 5th position, and he's a guy who really should have advanced on last week, but got smashed in the wall by Matthew Hubert and just couldn't recover from it, and Lauren Martinez got to advance on because of that. But Lauren has not had a good night. She's actually last on the grid right now on that 41 machine. And the person she's trying to beat, Logan Williams, is still running in the top 3. Blaine has also struggled in his attempts to move up. He's gotten around Leonard Kostner back in here, but he's still barely cracking the top 20 at this point. And Audra Baranowskis is still around the top 10. Now, that one machine is fading. She's outside the top 10 right now. LJ Cemento, Jack Haas looking to get around her. Blaine might have an opportunity getting to Baranowskis by the time this race is over. We'll have to see if that ends up being the case. Up front, Ludovic Charette trying to get to the inside of Isaac Nichols. And, you know, it's kind of funny. That 88 is actually owned by Ludovic Charette. That's Intersys Motor Racing here in the BodyArmor Pro Series. So we'll have to see how careful she is with her car right in front of her. But you got a second lead now from Isaac Nichols and Ludovic Charette compared to Logan Williams and the rest of these guys. These 4 guys have pulled away. Rogel Dorn, Ace Garcia, Nicholas Samedillo there with Logan Williams trying to close in. Andrew Miller, Carson Miller, Nathan Stapleton, who won this race last year. And Alonso currently has the last point here in this Massachusetts 100K, and they're about to go 3 wide. Stuart Grant trying to get back in the points as well. He actually had a mechanical failure last week at Oregon, and we never caught it, and finished dead last in that race. And Audra Baranowskis trying to keep as far away from Blaine Keys as possible. That 14 still kind of hanging on to the back of this pack. It's not over yet for Blaine, and it could very well be a Blaine Keys, Logan Williams showdown at Indy for the in-season tournament. They're 3 wide. Rogel Dorn to the inside of Ace Garcia and Logan Williams. How about Ace Garcia here tonight? Up to the 3rd position there in that 2 machine. Nicholas Samedillo looking to the inside of Rogel, but not enough momentum to get that pass made.
I think it's a bit obvious from how Ace Garcia's been racing that this is the series where he thinks he can get the win that's going to break the winless streak. Getting himself up to 3rd there. It's interesting to see Logan Williams. I would imagine you'd want to be pushing harder if you're Logan, because with Blaine Keys out of the points, you'd feel like this would be a good chance. This is also something I was going to question with Stuart Gratton right now, who's in 10th and just has managed to get his way around the 23. But these are 2 drivers who, again, you're close enough to Blaine Keys in points. You should take any advantage that he's starting in the back here. So I'd imagine they go a little bit aggressive, but at the same time, I can also understand this might be a tire conservation game, and if it is, then they're doing at least a good enough job at it, although the 83 is starting to try and pull away from these guys. I think he wants to keep a top 5 and rather not be battling. Oh my goodness, we keep missing things.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Ludovic Charette has a nose to the inside of Isaac Nichols, but Nichols is going to try to get that outside lane to work, and I think there's a bit more grip on the outer lane here as somebody went around, and there's your yellow flag. Your mid-race break. Who was it? Was it Jack? Don't see anyone out of line right there. They haven't cycled back through yet, so don't exactly know who it was. Somebody went spinning, but I don't think it was a massive accident. Oh, there it is. Carson Miller. Carson Miller, Armory Digital winner from 2 weeks ago, with some right side damage on that 21 machine. And that battle was around where, I forget where he was. Oh, Stapleton's got some damage as well in the 63. That was between Stapleton and Carson Miller. And that's going to affect the aerodynamics, and that's a big deal on a track such as this. But thankfully, that did not knock anybody out, and I think everyone's still going to be running on the lead lap once we get back going. But that is not what these 2 guys wanted to see, because both Isaac Nichols and Ludovic Charette were going to pull away and battle this one out to the end. Ace Garcia is now going to have a shot. Logan Williams, Nicholas Samedillo, top 5. They're all going to have an opportunity at this win now. Audra Baranowskis did not want to see that. And even though Blaine has struggled to move up, that's going to actually give him an opportunity to close in if that one gets shuffled on the outside lane. And Laura Martinez, I mean, holding on to a prayer that something might happen to the 83, because she's been last this entire race. That's just not how it goes. All right, let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the first caution of the night here in the Massachusetts 100K at Hillside, the BodyArmor Pro Series semifinal round of the in-season tournament. Well, Carson Miller, winner 2 weeks ago at Armory Digital. Might need to hire a new spotter. Just came right up on Nathan Stapleton. It's like we're back at Oregon with Hubert and Samedillo and those guys just squeezing off the exit. And around goes Carson Miller. Stuart Gratton just barely misses it. But unlike Oregon last week, Great save out of Carson Miller, actually. He got that thing going right away, and that was it. Carson Miller getting sent around, enough to trigger the yellow, of course, but no major contact. He did have some damage, but no one's going to be taken out from this one, which is a great thing to see. And we'll keep on rolling with all 24 drivers on the racetrack here at Hillside International Speedway.
Yeah, I mean, just sliding up the track thinking you're clear. And you were lucky to get out of that, just lucky where that car man. Man, I'm going to say this. Carson Miller doesn't save that car. Other Baranowski's might have gotten affected in that. And I mean, I don't want to say that's a race, but with Blanky's behind, she does not want any damage to that car.
She's still very much in contention for moving on in the in-season tournament. We'll see what Blaine can do. This is going to give Blaine an opportunity because this is very similar to what happened to him at Oregon last week when he closed up to Ace Garcia. He had that restart. We'll see if Blaine can do it. We know he's capable of doing it, and Lauren Martinez can have another opportunity as well in that 41. But it's Isaac Nichols leading the field here halfway through this Massachusetts 100K here at Hillside in the BodyArmor Pro Series. Let's get back to racing here in the 9th race of the season. We are back here at the Hillside International Speedway on a Monday night. A Indy 250 week starts in 2 days. We'll be at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the first practice session for the Indianapolis 250. I think a Mr. Duncan Ward is attempting that race. Excited to see him in that. And tomorrow, right here from Hillside, the second round of the Dash for Cash in the HERS Sprint Series. No, the finale round. Oh, we do these a week ahead of time. The finale round of the Dash for Cash. We're going to be giving away some cash to the winner of that. Don't know who's advanced on because Nathan's running that, but excited to see how that goes down tomorrow night for the Sprint Series. So got a couple of great Hillside races tonight and tomorrow night as well. Isaac Nichols having a great night. Holding on to the race lead here ahead of Ludovic Charette, Ace Garcia, Logan Williams, and Nicholas Samadio. All 24 drivers still on the racetrack and on the lead lap. We'll see how the rest of this race goes with 30 to go here in the Massachusetts 100K. And Ace Garcia already to the inside for second. And you said it's well over 1,000 days, Eddie. This could be the moment for Ace Garcia here tonight to possibly get his first win in quite some time.
Ooh, but that outside worked really well, and no one's going with him. Oh, as soon as I say that, Nicholas Samadio. Nicholas might split him. Nicholas just is. Nicholas has had enough. The Living Legend is. This might be a race that the Living Legend can win. He's had a very interesting time in the Wawa Cup Series, and a just as interesting time here. This might be his day.
Yeah, well, he actually had a good run in IndyCar. I don't want to spoil it for you, Eddie, but I got to mention that he got number 31. He's got 2 ahead of Blaine now, and he may make it 3 tonight because he's up to the 4th position. Great run for him right there, and for the race lead again, Ludovic Charette trying to pick up right where she left off with this 88. It is hard to get the inside lane to work without any help behind you, but you can make it work. And Ludovic's definitely the kind of driver that can do it. She's got to run to the inside of Isaac Nichols. It's going to bring Garcia and Samadio right into this battle. And Ludovic trying to get that slightly upper lane to work to her advantage. He's going to lead this lap right here. And Ace Garcia is right there now going for second, and Samadio is going to move right back in line. And for the race lead, Ace Garcia's got it on Ludovic Charette. And how about this for Ace? This is the only series he runs in. He isn't in Cup, he isn't in Sprint Series, he doesn't do anything else. Not even in IndyCar this year. But here he is in the Pro Series. He wasn't able to hold that inside enough, and Ludovic just powered on the outside, pulling away again. Samadio trying for third on Nichols, and Andrew Miller's up here as well. And Logan Williams about to fall outside the top 10. Got to be careful there. I mean, that 41 has not been able to move up, and Blaine's not moving up either in the 14. He's still mired deep in the field, back in traffic. And Baranowskis is still in a comfortable position for the in-season tournament. So great racing here. How about Stuart Gratton all of a sudden? To the inside of Samadio there for the 4th position, and Garcia going back after it again, but a bad entry into the corner. And Ludovic's going to hold on to it here. Lap 41 going to begin right here.
I saw someone go way up. I think Samadio might have lost a little bit of grip because now he went way up on that outside lane. I think that's what allowed Stuart Gratton. Hey, what'd I say? People got to be more aggressive. Trying to get points. Stuart Gratton might have the ball. He is starting to fly through this field. He's now in the 4th, and the way his car is running, he might have a podium in his sight first. But field. Isaac Nichols falling back. Ace Garcia's fighting with Ludovic Charette. And Ludovic Charette is, of course, trying to get the win he wanted so far this year.
Stuart Grattan, he has a really good opportunity here at getting his first win in a little while. He got a decent amount of wins as a driver in the Lenovo Pro Series over the fall, but I know he'd love to get one here because he's definitely a title contender here in the Pro Series as well. If he can get it going, he's definitely a guy that can match up to Blaine and Logan. Ace Garcia to the inside again. This time he has help there from Isaac Nichols. Wounded it back up and got to the back bumper of the 00, and I think Ace is going to be able to get this pass made here. And Isaac Nichols and Stuart Grattan, they're all on each other right here. And it is a great battle for the race lead here at Hillside. This is why we come here. Some great racing here on this mile-long racetrack. And Isaac Nichols looking to take the lead back away. And you know what? I don't think Ace is going to get one. He's not. Nichols to the point, and here comes Grattan in the 35, and Sam Medeo is coming as well in the 48. Ludovic's going to get shuffled in the middle there. Andrew Miller and Rogaldorn in the top 7 are all under a blanket here on lap 45.
This is going to be weird. I've noticed, too, now Grattan doesn't have any help. Now maybe the highway might be working, and it looks like it is. Sam Medeo's dictating where these last two cars are step. They're good try. They're just trying to kick as many cars off as they can. Any of the spotters, they're just trying to pick them off. Basically, putting that into that. Grattan might be a victim to Ludovic, and Ludovic's getting under him. As much as you can say that, now Nichols is starting to get space between him and the other cars. Oh boy, are things going to get really interesting. They might need to line back into one another shot of Nichols. They're going to keep fighting. Nice little twist at 88 and live.
They just all jammed up right here. Look at this. The whole pack is right on each other. Vinnie Scholes has found her way inside the top 10. And Logan Williams just barely hanging on to the top 10 right now. He's not going to be the points leader at this rate, but Lauren Martinez is nowhere to be found, and neither is Blaine Keys, and it's still Baranowskis and Williams in the position to advance on to that finale for the tournament. Sam Medeo trying to get to the inside of Ludovic right there for 5th. They have pulled away from each other again. Stewart is there in 2nd, trying to close in on Isaac Nichols for this race lead. You got Ace Garcia in 3rd. Roland Orn still trying to get a good finish out of this one. Get his first points that isn't a race win this season. Andrew Miller in the top 10. Alonso is 8th. Vinnie Scholes and Logan Williams. Juan Romero battling for the last point here at Hillside. We got ourselves 14 laps to go here in the Massachusetts 100K. It's been an excellent race up front here, and we are far from over in this one here because these guys are going to wind it back up again. Stuart Grattan trying to get that draft off the 88 machine. Ace Garcia still in the middle of all this. Ludovic Charette, Nicholas Sam Medeo also have a shot at winning here tonight. Who's going to get it done in 13 laps? Here comes Stuart Grattan looking to the inside of Isaac Nichols for the race lead, and they're side by side with 12.5 laps to go.
Neither of them have help, so this is going to be car versus car until Ace gets up to him. And that, oh man, that high line is really working out of these corners. If I was going to have to pull back.
Ace Garcia is going to be able to pull to the back bumper of Grattan here, and here we go. They're just all winding it back up again and closing in on the end of this race. Stewart's going to try to get that outside lane to his advantage. Now Ace is going to try there for 2nd, but he made that move a little too late. Stewart still has a great opportunity of winning this thing. And his fellow countrymen right ahead of him there for this race victory, and they are going to go side by side again. Ludovic's got 3rd on Garcia right now. That's going to bring Sam Medeo back into the battle. Brad's got to wind it up a little bit higher on the racetrack to stay alongside Nichols at the line. The 88's going to be able to lead this lap right here. We got 10 laps to go here in the Massachusetts 100K at Hillside. Nicholas Sam Medeo, he's going to make a 3 wide on Ludovic and Ace. They're still side by side for the race lead.
Oh, this is what we're going to have to see, because yeah, I think Ace and Ludovic are holding each other up. It's 1 versus 1, and Grattan is starting to get the runs. I think he's got the run. He's got the lead. Oh boy, is this Grattan masterclass incoming?
Nichols going to cross back over on him. And these guys are still waiting in the wings in case something happens. And hey, we know that something can happen here.
Absolutely.
What a race it's been up front here in this Massachusetts 100K. Stuart Grattan holding on to that outside lane ahead of Isaac Nichols. What a run for Grattan. He just drove through the field to get to this point. Looking for his first win of the season here in the BodyArmor Pro Series. He comes in 6th in points. He's going to get 25 to gain on the 14 of Blaine Keys, who has not moved up, and it's just not been a competition at all in terms of the in-season tournament. We're looking at Audra Baranowskis versus Logan Williams for the title at Indy next week. But we're going to focus on this race win here. And it's going to be one of these top two at this point, because Grattan and Nichols have pulled away 7/10 of a second ahead of Ace Garcia. Ledovic's is fourth, and then it's Rogaldorn there in the fifth position. Nichols still has a chance, though, but time is running out. It's 6 to go here in the Massachusetts 100K.
I am really thinking that Isaac Nichols running up front may have gotten rid of his tires, and Stewart, by virtue of simply being in the pack for all of the first 30 laps of this race, saved up enough that he was able to cut through the field. And right now, he's carving through these. He just carved through everyone, and now it's just a couple laps of holding on and hoping that, maybe his tires don't have just a little bit of advantage on Nichols. That's all he needs, just a little bit of advantage, and it is certainly not helping that at least Nichols, that the other two are coming back, because he might need a push just to get a chance at Grattan. Because, yeah, these lap times are starting to stagnate. He's looking low.
Still there.
He really wants it.
And all you gotta do is beat him at the line. You don't need to make a full pass, and he's gonna try it right here on the inside of Stuart Grattan. 3 to go here at Hillside, and Isaac Nichols trying to take it back away from the 35. I bet these two are loving this right now. They are good friends off track, and they're battling side by side for this race win, and Nichols has the advantage, but he's going to go too low in the corner, and Grattan pulls it on the outside, and Nichols is going to have one more chance. 2 laps to go here in the Massachusetts 100K for Stuart Grattan, and that was a bad entry for Nichols, and he lost a ton of ground on that 35, but he's got an opportunity. He's just got to wind it back up one more time, and the next time by, it's the white flag here at Hillside.
It's an Aussie battle. But I think one of them just outsmarted the other. Or I guess outfoxed, if you want to call it that. But here we go.
White flag here at Hillside for Stuart Grattan. For Grattan Autosport. He's driving for his own team in the series. He didn't get an invite. He signed up for his team that did get an invite. And you know what? All the talk about Grattan Autosport, this is the ultimate Grattan Autosport GRT win. Stuart Grattan wins the Massachusetts 100K here in the BodyArmor Pro Series at Hillside. Still a great run for Isaac Nichols. You got to give him a ton of credit. We get 18 points for that one right there, and he's going to multiply his prior points total by 9. Actually, by 10. Tenfold from what he had. Ace Garcia with a podium. That is Ace's, I think it's his best finish of the season. Ledovic Charette, Rogaldorn, Sergio Alonso, Andrew Miller, Vinny Scholes. Nicholas Samadillo, Vinny Scholes. How about Juan Romero getting the last point in that 87 machine? Last year's Sprint Series champion. Logan Williams and Audra Baranowskis. I think it's fitting that Audra gets a chance to win this in-season tournament at the place where she won the Indianapolis 250 a year ago and has won the Indy 250 twice. She's got to beat Logan Williams, and she's going to actually have a better starting position than Logan. Whoa, boy.
Oh my.
Yeah, that ain't how it works. Audra Baranowskis may just steal this in-season tournament. Now, of course, she starts outside lane, and, Indy is Indy, but Indy's a lot like this. It's hard to work your way through the field. Logan Williams is going to be starting dead last in the Indy 100K. Stuart Grattan going to be starting on the pole. He's going to have an opportunity going back-to-back in that 35 machine. It's going to be a fun race next week. During Indy 250 week at the greatest racetrack in the world, the Indy 100K is a special race for the BodyArmor Pro Series, and we always love seeing how that one goes down. Stuart Grattan gets the win, though. I feel like that's the bigger story here tonight. Stuart Grattan winning for Grattan Autosport in the 35. It's the ultimate Grattan win, and how about that for Stuart Grattan and Isaac Nichols? A great battle between those two drivers. Ace Garcia had a great car, just couldn't quite get it right there. Another good run for Ledovic, Charette, and Rogaldorn, and I think Grattan, Charette, and Dorn, and those guys going to have an opportunity at this title as we move on throughout the season. Logan got nothing tonight. Neither did Blaine. Stewart has pointed in 7 of the 9 races, and he's been a little bit more consistent than Blaine and Logan in that category. And Ace as well has actually pointed in 7 races. So Stuart Grattan and Ace Garcia have done an excellent job up to this point in the season. Tough break for Blaine Keys, and he just never got going and could not beat Audra in this race, and that just had to do with the starting positions, and Lauren Martinez just had no chance, even with Logan struggling in this race. That 83 was clearly not a fast car, but Logan's going to manage to hold on to it and have an opportunity at beating Audra Baranowskis for the in-season tournament here in the BodyArmor Pro Series. Well, what a race, Eddie. That was fun. Stuart Gratton gets it done. You've been in the booth for a lot of Stuart Gratton wins. I know you were in the booth when he broke the winless streak, and you got another one here in the BodyArmor Pro Series.
I was also there. Was I there? I was there for his double Dega win, which
that's when he won his own race. You're right.
That might be more of an ultimate win because you can. Well, then again,
he wasn't driving officially for Gratton Autosport. He is officially. He you know what he just did? He got a driver win and an owner win in the same race.
That's fair. That's definitely pretty significant. But this is Stuart Gratton's day because looking at everyone else, Kochmer and Keys were mired. Williams and Tuck end up just outside the top 10. Stuart Gratton just gained a ton of ground in the championship. So really, this was his day. A lot of the other big story is Logan Williams, Matt Tuck being one spot short of points. That is probably going to hurt them getting, Blaine Keys was in the back all the time. I think if cameras saw it correctly, he may have given a little bit of a post-race shove to Matthew Hubert. I think might be some animosity going on over Hubert, probably holding Keys back a couple of times just due to the cycling in the back, but yeah, Audra Baranowskis versus Logan Williams for the in-season title, and someone needs to tell Audra the slipper still fits, but more importantly, she might have the chance to just take this Cinderella story all the way to a championship if the starting positions for Indianapolis and the fact that we're going to be in Indianapolis have anything to say for that. But yeah, no, next race is going to be very, very fun because we're probably going to see Stuart trying to fight off some guys getting pole again, and we're going to have Audra and Logan in a place where, well, they could probably end up fighting in the last couple of laps for this in-season championship if there's any type of cycling and that outside lane ends up moving towards the back in those opening couple of laps.
It's going to be a fun race, and I will say as well, we've fixed the pit road issue where, they started coming down, but not all of them came down. We'll make sure that it's a zero pit stop race. I don't know. We had some issues with that last year. We're going to make sure that both the Indy 100K and, of course, the Indianapolis 250 run as we expected. We want the 40-lap fuel run in the Indy 250, and we want no fuel run in the Indy 100K. I think we're going to make sure that we get that next week. And what a race here at Hillside, and that was fun to see Stuart Gratton drive through the field and get it. And hey, like I said, the winner showdown is going to be here in the Wall Cup Series in actually really about 6 weeks from now, maybe 7 weeks from now. That's going to be a lot of fun. And that's another race that we give some cash away. We give cash away tomorrow night for the Dash for Cash. We're going to give cash away to the winner, either Logan Williams or Audra Baranowskis for the in-season tournament next week. And then, of course, the winner showdowns for cash as well. So I'm breaking the bank for you guys. But, I love adding that little aspect to it. You're actually racing for something. And it's going to be fun to see who gets it next week. For the finale of the in-season tournament, Logan Williams versus Audra Baranowskis. But just to see who gets the win, that is a big racetrack, a big place to win a race at, especially in the BodyArmor Pro Series. These guys get that opportunity to race there, and a win in Indianapolis, regardless of the series, is a big thing. And Stuart Gratton's going to have a great opportunity at it because he's going to start on the pole for that Indy 100K after winning here tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Huge thanks to Eddie Debs for calling this one with me, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. You're going to hear my voice on Wednesday for the first practice session in the Indianapolis 250. Only the full-time drivers, but Duncan Ward's going to be a part of that one. And I may not have you in the booth until we get to that point, so I'm going to ask Eddie, what are your expectations with Duncan going into this Indianapolis 250? Of course, he's got to race his way in. 33 of the 36 drivers get into the show, but assuming he does make it in, what are your expectations for him in the biggest race of his career up to this point on the channel?
Well, he wasn't the Daytona 500, but I think he had a better chance of winning the Daytona 500, even with, me and Andrew talked about it, just Team Williams not being a team that prioritizes super speedways, but I think we got a better chance of winning the Daytona 500 than we do the Indianapolis 250. I am I have no expectations. What Duncan has showed me in IndyCar is that he kind of does not care. Maybe he'll care more for this race, but who am I kidding? He'll probably wreck himself out. I don't remember what he did in Indianapolis in the Sprint Series, or, well, we didn't go there in trucks, but yeah, I don't think he likes Indianapolis very much. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. We're just gonna have to find out.
Well, hey, we're going to start out with practice, and this weekend, of course, is single car qualifying on Saturday, and then the Fast 9 last night shootouts on Sunday. That's always the fun part. We eliminate the 3 drivers, and then we qualify the pole. Top 10 qualifiers get points in the series as well, and there's a championship going on over there. It'll be a lot of fun seeing how that all ends up shaking out. Well, thank you so much for watching once again. Congratulations to Stuart Crad on his race victory here at Hillside, and we'll see you guys next week in the BodyArmor Pro Series from Indianapolis for the Indy 100K. Here are the points for the BodyArmor Pro Series after 9 races, and on behalf of Eddie Debs, I will see you guys later.